So I want to share with you one of the biggest life epiphanies so that if you understand the gravity of what I'm talking about, it will fundamentally change your outlook on scenarios, your perspective on other people, and how people view you. And that is that God's timing for someone's life is much different in perspective and in that instance than what you think or what you can ever fathom. And you can do nothing about it in some sense. So the story that comes to mind is Joseph and how he was sold into slavery by his 12 brothers. And also he was, in some sense, forgotten, or rather his dad never saw him in some sense during that time. And when he was sold into slavery into Egypt and he was in prison for a couple of years, he was in Potiphar's house and all these crazy things, it would be easy for Joseph to think, you know what, maybe I should send a messenger or do something to go find my father, to go find and reconcile with my brother. Maybe from Jacob's perspective, Joseph's father, that, oh, maybe we should do something more than believe the word that my brothers talked about, or my sons talked about, where he died. And he could have done something more than that. And so on and so forth with regards to perspective check and timing. And what you have to understand is that everything that you do in life, it's never going to make sense from somebody else's perspective or even your perspective. And so if you go out and you try to prematurely solve something, you go out there and you prematurely try to figure something out, or you're in a different place or a different season in life, or you have a different understanding of some circumstance and you think you have to go explain it to somebody, all these things contribute to the confusion and the chaos in which you're not going to get closure, you're not going to get a solution, you're not going to have somebody be on your side in some sense. So you've got to understand that what you allow and entrust to God, you have to let go and let Him do the things in His perfect timing. And so even with Joseph, when he was in prison, when he was in Potiphar's house, he had chances to maybe send a messenger. Well, who knows, right? He may have tried to do something, but he didn't. He just sat back, he let the Lord work, and he allowed God to, in His perfect timing, allow things to transpire. Even in the 7 years of plenty, in the 7 years of drought, in those times even, he could have went out and tried to find his family and said, you know what, I have the power now. I could do something about it, but he didn't. And so you don't want to step out of place and out of line with the timing of God and what you need to be doing when you need to be faithful in your direction with Him. And so I want to encourage you guys today, whoever's watching this, whatever this means for you, whatever circumstance you're in, God's timing is perfect, and His timing will bring forth the fruit, the direction, the results, and the right decisions and all of that in due course. What you can't do is step out of line and do something that you think makes sense. Explain yourself to somebody so that they could try to understand it, or go out and try to enforce your reasoning, your rationale, your logic, your direction, thinking that it's godly direction on somebody else when you don't know what their path is. It could be different from your cookie cutter, standard approach that you are envisioning. It could be different than the way that God wants it to happen. It may be that they have to drop out of school and then be fired a couple times, and then they can go on and do something with their life. It could be that they need to go into a season of being low for a bit, maybe a couple years, whatever it is. But the results, the timing, it's not instant, and it doesn't have to be. So if this encourages you, if you're in that situation of you the receiving end of it, or if you're on the other side of it where you're looking at somebody else's life, their organization, what they're going through, and you think, oh, I just want to inject my will on them, impose my will on them, then I want to encourage you, take a step back and understand context and ask yourself and ask the Lord even, what is it that you want me to do? Because the one thing that you should do is have patience and trust Him, and in context to understand that maybe it's something I don't really understand. I may never even be able to understand, even after the fact, even after all this time passes, until possibly I get to heaven, whatever it is. And so be encouraged today. Whatever this means for you, just know that this thought process, philosophy you want to call it, the outlook, the biblical truth of the sovereignty of God and His perfect timing, it's always true just that we can't grasp it and we don't understand it. But you just have to trust him and let him work in your life. Be encouraged, guys. If you guys want to engage, drop a like, comment. And also, if you guys want to support me, I'm doing a fundraiser. Me and my team going through a difficult situation. We need all the help that we can get. More to come. This is a 40-day inspiration series that I'm trying to do both in shorts and in long form. Love you guys. More to come. Talk to you guys very soon.